OSPF external LSA or LSA type 5. In this video, I am going to talk about the next type of LSA type 5. You know that until now we have learned about the LSA type 1, type 2 and type 3. Now we will learn about the LSA type 5. Maybe you want to know when we have LSA type 5 in one network. You know that when we are using a multi-area network, okay, in our enterprise, we need only LSA type 1, type 2 and also type 3. Okay, why we should use the LSA type 5? Let me to talk about the LSA type 5. The first things that you should know is that the LSA type 5 names is external LSA. Okay, and from this name maybe you can guess what is the function of the LSA type 5. Actually, you know that we have a function, we have a feature, we call it redistribution. When we want to import the routes from another routing protocols, okay, to the for example one routing protocol, we call it the redistribution. Let me to show you. Assume that here we have router 1 connected to the router 2 and then router 2 connected to the router 3. Assume that we have here between the router 1 OSPF and between the router 2 and 3, for example, EIGRP. Okay, in some cases we need to for example, configure between the router 1 and router 2 one routing protocol, between router 2 and router 3 another routing protocol. You will learn about the reasons of this design in the redistribution part of this class. But for now, let me to say that if you want, you can redistribute the EIGRP routes, okay, into the OSPF routing table and OSPF network, and also the OSPF network from the EIGRP. Okay, I assume that here we have net A. We can inject the net A, okay, to the OSPF from the EIGRP. Okay, if you inject this net A into the OSPF, this injection should occur with the LSA type 5 normally. Okay, because of that we call it the external LSA, means the routes that we are importing to the OSPF from another routing protocol. Because of that we call it the external LSA. Don't forget that about the external LSA we will learn more than this video, because here only we should learn about the fundamental topics of the external LSA, but about the external LSA in the redistribution part we have more options. Okay, let me to show you, let me to add one routing protocol to this enterprise, okay, and after that we can redistribute, for example, EIGRP into the OSPF. Don't forget that here I'm not going to talk about the redistribution itself. Redistribution is another topic and we will learn about the redistribution in future in this course. Here only we are experiencing the LSA type 5. Because of that, when I am configuring the redistribution, okay, only you should for example notice to the LSA type 5, not the redistribution itself. Look at here. Assume that R5 connected to the is residing here, and you know that R5 is one of the routers in the area 1. And here we have another routing protocol, for example EIGRP, because we have learned about the EIGRP in previous part of this class. Assume that this is the R5 connected to another router, and then this router is the router 6. Okay, let me to show you. This is our EIGRP network. Okay, and after that let me to connect the router 5 to the router 6. For example, you can connect serial 11 to the serial 10 of the router 6, and after that fast Ethernet to the for example switch 7. Let me to start the router 6. Here in the link between the router 5 and 6 we are using 10.5.60/24. okay, and after that the router 6 LAN is has the range of 10.600/24, 10.600/24. And here in this network, okay, we are using the EIGRP as the routing protocol. Here we have EIGRP, and you know that in the other interface of R5 we have OSPF. I'm going to show you what is happening when we are injecting the routes of the EIGRP, okay, to the OSPF. Again, let me to emphasize that the detail of redistribution itself is not important for us. Here we are not talking about the redistribution, we are talking about the OSPF, okay? But we need to configure redistribution because I'm going to show you the LSA type 5. Actually, when you are redistributing the EIGRP, okay, to the OSPF or other routing protocols, not only the EIGRP, okay, you will have LSA type 5. For example, when we are configuring the redistribution, we will have two LSA type 5. I will show you. This is the external LSA or LSA type 5. Here we have some information. For example, one of them is the ASBR router ID. You know that R5 here is the ASBR, Autonomous System Boundary Router, okay? And in the ASBR, we should configure the redistribution function. In the LSA type 5 of the router 5, we have this information, the ASBR RID, for example, quad 5. After that, we have this information 10600/24 because we are injecting 10600/24. And also we have the value of metric. The default value of metric in redistribution is 20. Don't worry about the detail of this. Only you should know that when we are redistributing EIGRP into OSPF, the metric value is 20. Why the metric value is 20? You will learn about them in the redistribution part of this class. Also, we have another feature, we call it the metric type. Metric type can be 1 or 2. You will learn about the difference between the 1 and 2. I will talk about that. For now, let me to say that the metric can be 1 or metric type can be 1 or 2. Because of that, now you know the information that we have in the LSA type 5, okay? This is the LSA type 5, ASBR RID, the network that we are injecting to the OSPF domain, and also metric and also metric type. Also, you know that here we have two LSA type 5. First for 10600/24 and second for the 10560/24. Look at here, 10560/24 with the for example similar metric type and also metric. Okay, you know that when we are injecting one LSA type 5 from the router 5 or ASBR to this net to area 1, automatically this area LSA type 5 should be sent to the other areas also. Here we don't have any limitation because all other routers should know that here from the router tree, from the ABR, we can reach to the, for example, this external LSA. I will show you. First, let me to configure the router 5 and router 6. After that, we can talk about the LSA type 5. Here in the router 5, okay, this is the router 5. First, we need to add one interface. This is the serial 11. Let me to show you here. This is the serial 11 in the router 5. Conf T. Okay, interface serial 11, IP address is 10.565.255.255.255.0, and then no shutdown. After that, let me to configure the router 6. This is the router 6. Okay, conf T. Here we have two interface serial 10. Okay, IP address of this interface is 10.566.255.255.255.0, no shutdown, and then interface fast Ethernet 00. IP address is 10.606.255.255.255.0, and then no shutdown. Okay, let me to configure EIGRP between the router 6 and router 5. Router EIGRP1 network 10.606 quad 0, and then network 10.566 quad 0. This is the configuration of EIGRP on router 6. And then on the router 5, let me to configure EIGRP also. Router EIGRP 1 again, network 10.565, okay, quad 0. If you have some questions about the redistribution, you should ignore it because you will learn about the redistribution in the future videos in this course. As you saw, now we have EIGRP neighborship between the router 5 and router 6. Let me to show you here. Show IP EIGRP neighbors. As you can see, we have neighborship with the router 6 here, okay, and also you know that before the redistribution function, we don't have any information about the 10.600/24 and also 10.560/24 in the router 3, in the router 1, in the router 2. Let me to show you. Assume that we are residing in the router 3. In the router 3, if you check show IP route, you can see that we don't have any information about the for example 10.600/24 and also 10.560/24. Why? Because we didn't redistribute the EIGRP into the OSPF. You know that In OSPF, okay, when we are learning some routes from the LSA type 1, okay, or 2, we will see that route inside the routing table with the code of O. O means intra-area, okay. When we are learning one route from the LSA type 3, we can see these routes inside the routing table with the OIA code. OIA means OSPF inter-area, okay. And when we are learning some routes from the LSA type 5, okay, we will see these routes inside the routing table with the code of the OE2, okay, OE2 or OE1. OE2 means OSPF external with metric type 2. OE1 means OSPF external or LSA type 5 with metric type 1. I will talk about the metric type. Don't worry about the metric type 2 or 1. Only you should notice to the OE. OE means LSA type 5 means external LSA. Let me to configure the redistribution on the R5. Again, let me to emphasize that the command of redistribution is not important for us now. Only we should know about the LSA type 5 in this video. And let me to go to the CLI of router 5. This is the router 5. Okay, the router 5 is the router connecting to both routing domain, EIGRP and OSPF. Show IP protocol can show us that here in the router 5 we have two routing protocol, OSPF and also EIGRP. Now we are trying to injecting the EIGRP routes into the OSPF. In the router 5, we can use these commands, conft, okay, router OSPF1, then redistribute EIGRP1, okay, that's it, subnets. Now you will see the EIGRP routes, okay, means these two routes 10600/24, 10560/24 inside of the area 1 and also area 0. Let me to show you first the database of R5. In the database of R5 means show IP OSPF database. As you can see now we have this information, 2 LSA type 1, because here we have 2 router in this area, area 1. Also we have 7 LSA type 3. You know that the numbers or the count of LSA type 3 equal to the number of the networks in other areas, and in the previous video we had talked about this information, okay. And after that, as you can see now we have 2 type 5 or 2 external LSA. As you can see, both of them advertised with the router 5, quad 5. We can see this LSA type 5 on all routers in the OSPF domain, in all areas, area 0, area 1 or some other areas. Let me to show you. First, the router 4, show IP OSPF database. Look at here. Here also we have these 2 LSA type 5. After that, in the router 3, show IP OSPF database. Look at here, we have these 2 LSA type 5. Again, in the router 2, show IP OSPF database. Look at here, we have these 2 LSA type 5. Also in the router 1, show IP OSPF database. Look at here, we have these 2 LSA type 5. As you can see here, we don't have any limitation about the transporting the LSA 5, LSA type 5 between the different areas. Okay. Maybe you want to know about the detail of LSA type 5. It is so easy. Look at here. With the show IP OSPF, okay, database, we can verify we can monitor all of the database, all of the LSTB. If you use show IP OSPF database, then external means I want to see all of the LSA type 5s, okay. But if you want to see one or monitor one specific LSA type 5, you should use show IP OSPF database external, then the LSA ID. LSA ID in the LSA type 5 is the network address. Where, for example, here you can use the show IP OSPF database external, then for example 10600. That's it. Like the summary LSA, here LSA ID is the network address, and because of that we can easily verify the information that we have in one LSA type 5. Let me to show you. For example, in the R5, it is not important that you are verifying in each, for example, which router, because the information is for example same. Let me to show you here in the router 5, okay, show IP OSPF database external, then 10600. Look at here. Here we have the information of the LSA type 5. The advertiser router is the quad 5. and we are advertising 10600/24, and this is the metric is equal to the 20, and the default metric type is 2. You will learn about the metric type, don't worry, but let me to say that the default metric type is 2, but we can change it, and we will see the effect of change of the metric type in the future videos. But for now, let me to say that the default of the metric type is 2. Because of that, we expect to see this 2 network inside the routing table of other routers with the code of OE2, means OSPF external metric type 2. Let me to show you. In the router 3, this is the router 3. Here we can use show IP route, okay, OSPF. As you can see, we have 2 OE2 routes. OE2 means, as you can see here, OSPF, okay, external type 2, means OSPF external with metric type of 2, 10560/24 and 10600/24. Let me to say that in OSPF, we don't have any difference between the internal and external about the administrative distance. Both of them are using the administrative distance of 110 by default, but in EIGRP, the internal routes are using the administrative distance of 90 and external routes are using the administrative distance of 170. Okay, as you can see here, we have this information. The metric is 20. In router 1 also, in other routers, we have this information. Show IP route OSPF. Look at here. As you can see, for these two network 10560/24 and 10600/24, we have the similar information. Okay, now we know about the LSA type 5. Let me to review some of the important topics that we have learned until now. Look at here. Here in the area 0, okay, we have 4 router. Because of that, we should have 4 LSA type 1. This is okay. After that, you know that in here, because we have 1 transit network, we should have 1 LSA, okay, type 2, and that's it. After that, here we will have 2 LSA type 3, 2 LSA type 3, okay. After that, we will have 2 LSA type 5, LSA type 5. Okay, because we are redistributing only 2 networks inside of the OSPF. This is the LSAs that until now we have learned about the OSPF. Also, in this area, in the area 1, we will have 2 LSA type 1. Why? Because we have only 2 routers. We don't have any LSA type 2. Why? Because here we don't have any transit network. And also we have 7 LSA type 3. Why? Because from the area 0, we have injected 7 LSA type 3 from the ABR to this area. Also, we have 2 LSA type 5 because the ASPR advertised 2 LSA type 5 here. Okay, and this is the story of the external LSA. As you can see, in each step, we are learning 1 LSA type, and you know that about the OSPF. If you want to be a master in the OSPF, you should know about these details. If you don't know these details, you cannot optimize, you cannot tune the OSPF. You will learn more than this about the usage of the LSA types. Okay, maybe now you want to know what is the next LSA that we should learn about that. The next LSA that I'm going to talk about that is the LSA type 4, ASPR summary. You will learn about the LSA type 4 in the next video and also in this for example scenario. But now first you should review the topics about the LSA type 5 in this video. After that we will talk about the LSA type 4 in the next video. In the next video you can see that here in this area we have another LSA. We call it the LSA type 4, and you will learn about the usage of this LSA type 4. Now it's your time. First, review this video and experience the, for example, LSA type 5. After that, please come with me to the next video. We will talk about the OSPF ASPR summary LSA or LSA type 4.